Yo, my bad. The wife, the wife called me. So when it comes to area canvassing, you gotta understand two things. I mean, number one, well, there's a lot of things you gotta understand, but number one, you gotta continue to be yourself, because if you're not yourself, people are gonna know that. And I have short-term memory loss, and I do it on purpose. So when I would recruit kids, when I talk to kids, sometimes if I'm gonna remember who you are. I mean. So sometimes, even though I know who the hell you are, I'll go up to you and they'll be like, bro, don't ask me again, bro. I don't want to be a Marine. And I'll look at them and be like, bro, I've never met you. We've never had this conversation. I don't even know who you are. I was actually just going to ask you for the directions to Arsenio Hall. And then they're like, oh shit, my bad. And then I'm like, yeah, dude, like, what the fuck? And then I start chopping it up with them, and then boom, I ask again. I'm like, nah, I'm playing, bro. I remember who you are. But, it's all about being a clown. I mean, and it's also all about being who you are, because I'm genuinely an asshole. But I love you. I mean, I'm an asshole who loves people, right? And I got that from my father. And the thing is, though, is that that's who people knew me as. So people literally, bro, I would tell people off, man. Like, and that's the thing, is I would get like my boss or people would be like, bro, you can't talk to people like that. I'd be like, but that's what the Marine Corps is. Like, that's literally the Marine Corps that I've always grown up in. Like, that's where we come from. Like, I'm not gonna, like, there's a difference between you sitting down with a guidance counselor in your school and you sitting down with a Marine Corps recruiter. So when I would sit down and I would do these interviews with these kids, I'd be like, listen, man, that shit's not gonna work. That's it. Like, your plan, and I would destroy your plan, and I would be like, listen, man, your plan. But I would do that even in the AC, bro. Like, by the time we got to the office, whether it was the same day, whether it was a phone call, like, I've already pretty much interviewed you. Like, I know sitting down with you, the conversation that we're about to have. Like, I'm having a full-on, like, I already know by the time we sit down, I already know what tags you're gonna pick. I already know you're gonna pick this tag, that tag, the other tag. I mean, and if I don't, I'm like one off. And I'll tell you, I'll be like, after you pick them, I'll tell you, I'll be like, you know what, man? I knew you were gonna pick those three because of yesterday when we were sitting outside the school or outside the club, or not outside the club, but wherever I met you, at the store, the deli, wherever we met. I knew you were going to pick those because you brought this, and the third up. Now, while we're sitting in this interview, you're immediately like, yo, this dude remembers this shit from yesterday? And that's the problem, man. The problem why people have such lack of committals, the reason why people have such lack of interviews is because you're not fucking listening. That's the simple part. And the craziest part about all this shit is I wish I took this to my life. You know what I mean? I wish I listened to my wife as intricately as I do on recruiting duty. Because the reality of it is, man, I remember one time, and I've talked about this before, but I remember one time, we did like a TC challenge at some training I was at, and when I was on the phone call it was a Marine, we were just doing role plays, and when I was on the phone with the dude, I was trying to get an appointment, right? And I kept repeating everything he would say, and it would be like a summary of it. I'm like, oh, okay, man, so hey, you just told me that, I think he wanted to be a mechanic or something. I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay. I was like, so you want to be a mechanic because your mother and your father and da-da-da-da, and you said this, and the third, and he'd be like, yeah, that's what I said. So now, what did I just do? Okay, well, I just talked about how he wants to have a skill, okay? So what did I just tie that to? Boom, technical skills, right? He also talked about leadership. Boom, I already know this dude wants to be a leader. He wants management skills. Boom, tie that to leadership management skills. Okay, boom. He right now currently has a job with his parents, and he lives at home with his parents, and he doesn't have any of these things. Okay, boom. Dude wants self-reliance times 3. Boom. So what are his top 3 tags going to be? Those 3. Now, mind you, did I have them in the right order? Probably not always. But I'm going to figure out what the 3 tags are going to be. So through the TC, through the AC, I'm going to already have my interview knocked the fuck out, so that when you come down to the office, I'm trying to figure out, okay, why the hell is he not going to say yes? What is the problem? What do I got to get through? And I want to get to the no first. I want to get down to the nitty gritty, and I want to understand, why are you going to say no to me? Is it you that's saying no to me? Is it your family that's saying no to me? Is it the fear of the unknown that's saying no to me? What is going on right now in your life and in your mind that you're deciding that right now the Marine Corps is not for you? Because even after I lay everything out on a plate for you, I create a whole 7-course meal for you, and I tell you exactly what you want. I tell you exactly how the Marine Corps is going to become successful. At the end of the day, a lot of y'all motherfuckers are going to say no. A lot of you are going to say, nah, man, not right now. Or maybe later. And that's when I'm starting like, okay, well, hey, man, what about it? What if maybe later never happens? What if maybe later never comes? What is stopping you from right now? And that's the thing, too, is, bro, in my new job, and if somebody doesn't enroll, we allow them to come back, right? And we'll call it a B-back. I don't do B-backs. And I told my boss that. Listen, if you don't enroll right now, that's it. And the reality of it is you gotta be like that, bro. Like, dude, if a dude's in your office, yo, you're signing the 680-2007 right now. You're signing that shit right now. And we're not talking about, coming back with your vitals. And if you are, bro, you're coming back today. You're leaving my office right now. If you just told me, yes, I want to be a Marine, guess what you're doing? You're leaving my office. You're going home to go get your shit. You're coming back. If you're under the age of 18, well, number one, I already should have had your parents on the phone so they knew where you were at. But number two, you've just decided that you're doing this, you're calling your parents. Bro, even if you're fucking 25 years old and you tell me that your family, your girlfriend, your mother, your whoever helps you make decisions, bro, you're calling them right now. Because we're going to attack that negative influencer immediately. Now, mind you, if I'm ACing and I'm setting up appointments and you're in high school and I'm in the school, yo, pull your phone out right now, call your mother. Call your mother right now. Tell your mother that after school, I'm going to pick you up from the school, I'm going to bring you to my office and we're going to talk about the Marine Corps. Don't be doing when I get home, I got to get off the bus and I got to talk to my mom. Bro, pull your phone out right now. Your mother, first of all, your mother's not going to not answer. No matter where she's at, whether she's at work, she's grocery shopping, wherever, she's going to answer the phone. And she's going to wonder why you're calling her midday. So then you're going to call her and you're going to answer that call. And you're going to ask her, hey, mom, is it all right with this? And then I'm going to hop on the phone with the mom. And then I'm going to say, hey, mom, how you doing? And I'm going to call her mom. I'm going to purposely call her mom. I'm going to relate to mom like that. Say, hey, mom, what's going on? How the hell are you? How can I help you? I'm trying to get your son in the Marine Corps. I'm trying to save your son, change your son's life. And I'm actually the recruiter for the school. And I actually just talked to this, your son in the classroom. And I talked to your son, in the lunchroom or wherever I talked to your son. And your son told me that, you're working 2 jobs right now. You're really working hard. And your son wants to do this, and the third. I want to help you guys change his life. Boom. Now, mom already bought into me. Mom already got me, especially when I call her mom. Because now mom is like, oh, shit, he's a sweetheart. Now I just got you. Now, mind you, again, I'm not trying to get nobody. This is just who I am as a person. I called all my friends, every one of my friends, their mothers, I called them mom. Because, bro, you're my mom. And are you not a mom? You're a mom. Or I'm going to call you by your last name, Mrs. So-and-so. So the reality of it is that everything that I'm doing is who I am. It's not anybody else. So there's a lot of shit that people you make this job out you make this job to be way much harder than it needs to be. And there's so much more that you can do because realistically, it really just ain't that hard, bro. Like, everything that you need to know to talk about the Marine Corps. Like, you got some dudes out there who, like my one boy, dude, if you talk to him about his 370Z, he would go dog shit on you. He'd be like, oh my God, bro, this car that, and it has this, and it has this, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and he would destroy it, right? But yet this dude been in the Marine Corps for 5 years and can't talk a lick about the Marine Corps. And then on the other hand, you want to know why you suck at ACing and TCing? It's all about what you're giving out. So number one, if you believe in your mind when you sit down at the phone that I'm not going to make a phone call, that I'm not going to get an appointment. If you hang up the phone before the third ring because you're afraid of somebody answering, well, then of course you're going to suck on the phones. But if your mentality is, I don't do good at making phone calls, I'm not good at making phone calls, well then guess what? You're never going to be good at making phone calls. If you sit down and you say things like, oh bro, I'm about to go out and do some seeing, area canvassing, and you know what, bro, I never get anything out of area canvassing, or I never get anything out of that. Okay, well then guess what? You're about to go out and not get shit. So guess what I did every single day when I sat down at the phones? Guess what I did every single day when I went out ACing? Bro, I said the same shit. Yo, I'm gonna go find the same day. Every single day that I went to do my job, I said to my boss, to the recruiters in the office, I'm gonna go find the same day. Now, did I find the same day every day? No. Could I? Most of the time, I was finding 1 to 2 same days, or I was at least getting my appointments for tomorrow. But and you can ask anybody who knows me. Like, I'm literally like, yo, if I tell you I'm gonna go find the same day, I'm gonna go find the same day. If I tell you I'm gonna go find an NWA, I'm gonna go find an NWA, new worker applicant, not, the other one. But, you know what I mean? And I say that because, bro, I would tell people that. I would tell I remember when I was getting off recruiting duty, they had me sitting at the headquarters doing nothing. So I literally went up to the commanding officer and I went to the RI and I was like, listen, I'm leaving in 2 months. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm sitting in this office. I ain't doing shit. So why not send me to an office where I can get you guys some new working applicants, where I can get you guys some same days, and we can try to make you guys, get mission done before. Because I don't care the fact that you fired me. I don't care about the fact that, everything was unjust. The reality of it is that I'm still a Marine and I'm still on this duty, and I don't want to go sit at the freaking head shed for no reason. And I haven't done anything to the point where I shouldn't be talking to people. So I made a deal with this dude. And he still owes me dinner, but whatever. So I said to this captain, I said, sir, I'm going to go to this office in Middlesex, and I'm going to go find you 3 same-day NWAs to go up on Monday. This was Friday. I think it was Thursday or Friday. I was like, but I'm going to need the seats for Monday. He said, I got you. He goes, if you get me 3 NWAs for Monday, I will make sure that I can get you walk-on seats. I was like, you sure? He said, I'm sure. I was like, okay. What did I do? What did I do? I went to the office in Middlesex. I walked in. There was immediately an appointment. Now, mind you, I didn't bring in the appointment. The recruiter did. But I could see the interview going horrible. The interview was going down. And these dudes were down contracting. And they needed contracts. So I just went like this to the recruiter. And he threw me in there. And I was like, boom! And I destroyed this dude's head. I was like, listen, man, this is going on. And then, boom, what happened? Dude said, yes, I want to be a Marine. I was like, okay, well, why the fuck do you want to be a Marine? And then from there, he was like, all right, but I can't go till Monday. I was like, wait, what do you mean you can't go till Tuesday or Wednesday? He was like, well, I got this going on. I was like, all right, bro, how about this? I was like, how about you call your boss right now, put him on the phone. I'll talk to your boss, and I'll talk to him about what's going on, and I'll tell him why you need to go on Monday. And then what did I do? I prettied it the fuck up. I made sure he understood why we needed him to go on Monday, and why he couldn't go any other day. And I explained to him the what's in it for me. I explained to him why him going on Monday was going to make the most sense for everybody and anybody. And then what happened? I sent him home. He was supposed to go get his documents. He got his documents. And then, funny story, the next day, some shit happened over the weekend. And he couldn't come in. But he could go up Tuesday. Now, mind you, over the weekend, his phone died. He had told us, mind you. No, he had no service. He had told us that he was going away for the weekend. No, I'm fucking the story all up. He was going up Tuesday because Tuesday was it was a holiday weekend, and he had already planned to go away to like snowboarding and some shit. So on Monday, the kid was supposed to come in at a certain time with all of his documents so we could prep everything and have him to be able to go up, right? So Monday I go to work, and the boss is like, yo, where's he at? I'm like, oh no, his phone's dead. Nah, he's ghosting. Go find him. Go knock on his door. I'm telling you right now, that's never been me. I don't give a damn. Did my bosses tell me, hey, go find this kid? Yeah, sure. I went and found him. Yeah, okay, he wasn't home. Bro, I am not about to be knocking on nobody's door who just, bro, they just decided they weren't going to show up to the appointment. So what makes you think that me showing up to their house is going to make them want to join? Like, nah, I'm good on that. So, but I was like, you know what, whatever. And he was like, go with the staff sergeant to go find the kid. I was like, whatever, bro. So we pull up. It's snowing outside. Pull up to the kid's house, knock on the door, and the kid's girlfriend answers the door. And I'm like, hey, is so-and-so home? She's like, oh, yeah, sorry. He overslept from work, and he's upstairs sleeping. Kid comes downstairs. I explain the whole situation to him. And I'm like, hey, but I made it. I was like, hey, man, I just wanted to make sure everything was good with you. I'm not trying to, like, intrude on your life, but, we had a set time, and I just wanted to make sure everything was good with you, blah, blah, blah. And I talked to the mother, and the mother was like, why are you at my house? But, so long story short, the kid was like, hey, man, like, I didn't ditch you guys. Like, my phone just died. I was like, yeah, I know. A long story short, we got the kid in the office, did the paperwork, kid still went up on Tuesday. Mind you, the other two kids, I didn't say that before, but two other kids, Friday, boom. So in one day, I got 3 NWAs for Monday. And why did I do that? Well, because I know what I'm doing. That's the first thing. The second thing is because I believed it, and I said I was going to do it. And maybe I would have. Maybe you'll just get 2. Maybe you'll get none. But you have to walk in with the fighting mentality that I'm gonna do X, because if you walk in and you're like, oh well, maybe. And now, mind you, am I gonna sit here and say for 4 years I was on it every day? That would be a lie. You know what I mean? Like, are there some days that I went out and just did absolutely nothing, and I just sat in my car, or I would AC people just to AC people, because I love making fun of people, and I love talking to people, and I love ragging on people, and you know what I mean? But no, I wasn't on it every day. But I'm telling you right now, the days that I was on it were the days that I had the best time. So you need to have a positive mentality. That's the first step of going out ACing. If you're not going out there with a mentality, with a goal in mind, then it's not going to work out for you. And that's the thing. You gotta just understand what you're doing. And again, like I said, just to cap this up, if you're asking yourself, what product knowledge do I need to be successful? There's a problem in and of itself. Bro, you've been in the Marine Corps for how many years? Like, and here's another thing too, and I used to say this all the time, and people be like, oh, it's not the same. I think it's completely the same. Would you ever, as a sergeant, as a staff sergeant, have you ever had an issue with sitting down and giving a class and or counseling a Marine? No, you've never had an issue. You've done it multiple times in your career because you've had to. And if you haven't done it, there's a problem. But you've sat down kneecap to kneecap with lance corporals and corporals and even higher, right? So why can't you do it with some civilian? If you've talked to Marines about leadership and management skills, if you talk to Marines about self times 3, if you talk to Marines about all these different things, why can't you do it with a civilian? And then you have people who are like, well, because the lance corporal has to listen to me. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to listen to you. And even if he's sitting there, that doesn't mean he's listening to you. That doesn't mean he's receptive to what you're saying. You should want him to listen to you. You should want him to come to you to seek out counseling. You should want him to come to you and be like, hey, gunnery sergeant, staff sergeant, how can you help me with this? So the reality of what I'm saying is that if you can talk to all of these different people, why is there an issue with you talking to a stranger? Why is there an issue with you talking to, somebody on the street? And that's the problem, is people think way too much into this shit and just stop. And that's the other thing too. Like, and I'm not telling you to stop. Listen, make sure I understand this. Make sure you understand this. I'm not telling you to throw away MC3 skills. I'm not telling you not to do MC3 skills. I'm just telling you to pay attention, right? Because people, especially brand new recruiters who just came out, who literally just left BRC, basic recruiters course, the problem that you have is you get so wrapped up in the steps that you're like, and especially on the phone, you're like, oh my God, did I did I do that? Did I do this? Did I do that? Did I do this? Did I do that? And then instead of focusing on the conversation and the person at hand and what matters at hand, you're more focused about the steps. Not saying the steps don't matter. I'm not saying building rapport and exploring and enabling. I'm not saying those things don't matter. But those are all things that have to happen in conversation, and they happen concurrently, and they happen just throughout conversation. And if you really think about it, in any conversation you've ever had, it happens. Building rapport is ongoing in every conversation. It's reality. You do it all the time. No matter how many times you know somebody, you're still building rapport. So talking to an applicant or a parent or anybody, it's all the same shit, bro. And now, mind you, if you're somebody who doesn't talk ever, and you're a recluse, you're somebody who just doesn't talk to nobody, well, then you having a conversation, period, is going to be completely hard for you. But you've got to do more. People are against role plays. I never really enjoyed them, but, funny story about a role play. My boy, so we had this master sergeant, 8412, about to retire. He came over to the office. He started doing some training with one of my Marines, Murphy. And by the way, Murphy hates when you say my Marine. What do you owe me? What am I, a slave? Bro. But whatever. So the Marine. So he sits down with him. And this is like one of the first times Murphy's getting training from anybody. And the master sergeant's role-playing with him. Now, mind you, the master sergeant doesn't say, hey, I'm role-playing with you. He doesn't even let that known. He just starts talking to him. And he starts telling this story about being in Buffalo, New York, and about, all this shit. I don't remember what the story was about. And then he goes, and the recruiter just doesn't say anything. And then the master goes, are you going to say anything? He goes, are you going to try to, build rapport with me or whatever? And then the recruiter, Sergeant Murphy, just looks at him and goes, wow. No, my bad. The master sergeant goes, what do you think? And the recruiter looks at him and goes, cool story. It's your own story. It's your story. So I don't know. I guess if you like it, it's a good one. And literally this master sergeant was just like, wait, what? Like, this dude, he got fired up, got pissed off. But this shit was funny as fuck. And and I was like, bro, like, dude, you about to... And Murphy was like, what? And like, he just asked me how he was doing. So I told him how he was doing. Like, I don't know. How do you think you're doing? But, yo, the reality of it is that there's some people on recruiting duty that would be phenomenal recruiters if you just wanted to be. A lot of it just starts there. A lot of it just starts with the simple fact that some of y'all just don't want to be good and you don't care. Some of y'all, even mediocre, like, you could just be mediocre. Like, you don't got to go out there and be the best of the best, bro. Like, just go do your job, man. Go bring your 2 a month. And that's the thing too, bro. Yo, in my personal opinion, if you write less than 2 a month, you're garbage. You are literally garbage. And I don't give a damn where your AO is. I don't give none of those things matter, because the reality of it is, man, is that you should at minimum be given 2. Because, bro, there's people who can write 4 and 6 in your AO. So if people can write 4 and 6 in your AO, why the hell can't you write 2? And you got to be given part of the piece of the pie, because everybody wants to talk about, quality of life. But if you look at your office, is everybody given their fair share? No. So stop that shit. Because if you worked in a civilian world at a civilian company, and that business wasn't working and that business wasn't making its goals, would you still have a job? No. The only difference is the civilian world can't say, hey, bitch, you're not going home. The Marine Corps can. So you gotta, and businesses would be failing, you know what I mean? So the fact that the Marine Corps recruiting mission is there and it's not going away is part of the reason why a lot of y'all are still sitting at work. Now, mind you, do I agree with anybody being at work past 7 o'clock? Hell no. But I'm not going to sit here and say I wasn't that dude. Like, bro, there was times I was in my office till 2300, and then my wife would be like, Doug, what are you doing and why? Who knows, man? Sometimes it's paperwork. Sometimes it's literally just bullshitting. But, Try not to do that. Stop leaving your Marines in the office all night because, like, bro, or when someone's already missing, like, yo, my boy hit me up. I'm like, hey, man, how you looking for mission? Oh, we're 3 for 8. It's like 2 days before the end of the month. What are you doing? Oh, I'm at work. Bro, it's Saturday at 9 o'clock. When have you ever gotten anything on a Saturday past 3 o'clock? Monday through freaking Sunday. And then on a Sunday, what are you doing on a Sunday, bro? Besides building packages, doing MEPS runs, why are you recruiting people on Sunday? Because guess what? When you call that person, they're like, why is this dude at work on a Sunday? I don't want to be there. I'm like, what? Now, mind you, if you're out and about at the mall or some shit and you AC somebody, that's a different story. I love my job so much that I still do it while I'm out. That's a different story. But if you're making phone calls to people, that's crazy. But I gotta go into work, so I'm gonna drop these 2 episodes on the YouTube and on the Spotify just because. But yo, just don't forget who you are. Don't forget where you've been, and don't forget where you're going. Like, understand that you gotta work every day to make shit happen. And I wish I had told myself that. And also, don't forget the people who care for you. You know what I mean? Your wife, your kids, your family, or your dog. I don't know. Somebody's at home waiting for you. And if they're not, your video games are waiting for you. I don't know. But yo, don't spend all your time and money on 3 years just sitting in an office, bro. Go make some shit happen.